Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you may be. My name is Geraint Rhys Benney, and this is Benney Babbles, the podcast. And tonight we have the one and only Mr. Christian P Taylor, better known as Doc Strange. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Where are you? I can see. Oh, wow. It's like I'm really there. This is amazing.
Yeah, I thought we'd try out the new the new interactive version of the show.
I love it. You look amazing.
Thanks very much.
Wow, your
if
studio's really nice.
Box, if you put the hand in the box in front of you, you can a bit lower.
Oh, is that you?
That's me. Yeah,
you're a big lad, aren't you? Hang on, I'm gonna have to sanitize now. Wait a minute. Take this off now. I still can't see anything.
Welcome to the show, dude. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. I wouldn't say that it's affecting me, this lockdown. It's not making me any worse than I already was. But
it's putting everyone else back on, putting them up to your level now.
That's right. Do you know what? I used to be a little bit mental, but now compared to everybody else, I'm actually coming across quite sane, I think.
Yeah, the way people are on Facebook these days, yeah, I can agree with you these days.
Oh my God. Honestly, they've got nothing else to do than just sit there complaining. Oh, dearie me. They need to get out more. They need to get out more. You can't get out more.
Well, they need a hypnotist.
If only I knew a good one.
If only we knew a good one, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Just
learn stage hypnotist, honestly.
Hypnotist? Is that what it says?
Hypnosis. Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
Hang on a minute. I'm going to put my lights on so you can see me better. There you go. Look at that.
Learn stage hypnosis.
Don't drink beer, kids.
Honestly.
God.
That was a six-pack with it at the beginning of the lockdown.
Yeah, I know. I drink a six-pack.
Saving up, have you?
I drink a six-pack. That's what I have. But honestly, kids, if you want to look like a middle-aged man who's never looked after himself, drink beer every night during lockdown. And I've realised that 3 months of drinking every night all by myself and crying myself to sleep is probably not the best way to keep fit. And so it's my birthday tomorrow, and I've decided.
Happy birthday to you!
Oh, thank you. I've decided that I'm going to stop drinking for my birthday. And my wife said, "Yeah, you've said that so many times." And it's not like I ever thought I was going to be an alcoholic, but the lockdown certainly has. I really think I am. And it's very sad. It's very sad.
Well, on a brighter note.
Hang on. So I got me beer. Cheers.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, it is. It's a.
Do you want to read it? Do you want to read it? Hang on. Can you read what it says?
Take 1 can by month, repeat until intoxicated. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liquid
and
happiness.
It's a proper prescription.
Proper.
Liquid happiness. Drink as many as you can stomach.
Refill sure. Expires Monday morning. Oh, tomorrow. There we are. Look. Yeah. On your birthday, it expires tomorrow. So there we are. It works well.
So that's my first beer of the day. I normally start at 5 o'clock.
And I've been waiting. How many are you going through?
I was like, I've got to stay sober. No, it's pathetic, but I think people need to talk about this, and that's why I'm doing it. Is that one of the problems that we've got today is that men don't talk about things. They don't talk about what's bothering them, and they don't open up. And so I'm saying, lockdown has been tough for me, really, because I'm normally out there entertaining people and making people laugh. Doing the kid shows, doing the adult stuff and whatever. I've had no work or anything since mid-February, no income, nothing at all. And so I've just been burning the credit cards on beer in the hope that everything's going to pick up. Yeah, and but I've been doing other things as well. But I think if you don't tell people that you think you got a problem or whatever, you can't deal with it. And
you can't, because you're admitting it to them. It's admitting it to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think a lot of people who don't admit it will continue self-destructive behavior until they do admit it. And we all make mistakes, and we all have blips in life where we don't pay attention to ourselves, and we think we're coping. And I think you only have to step back a little bit and look at what you're doing and go, do you know what? Now's the time to change. And for the last couple of weeks, drinking and crying at the same time and sending messages to myself.
Yeah. I'm telling yourself oh, there's a message, and then we'll repeat it again the next night.
Yeah. Well, not repeat it, but I mean, I have the last couple of weeks. I have been going, this is ridiculous, and I've been talking to myself, and but this is what people need to do. You need to talk to yourself. You need to realize what you're doing that's self-destructive, and talk to other people, and get on the phone. I've spoken to so many people, friends, through Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and all that. And people have really opened up. I've helped so many people, it's great.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes it's not just them reaching out. It's people that, if you notice that there's something unusual or, not quite right about someone, don't be afraid to ask them.
No.
Because, sometimes all it takes is for someone to take a bit of notice for them to open up.
Yeah. You just got to say, how are you? How are you?
I totally agree with you.
How are you? What? How do you feel? Because people always say things like, oh, they'll go, oh, I'm okay. Everything's fine, and everything isn't fine. And you need to say, look, I know that's your usual response, but how are you really? Talk to me. Tell me how you feel. Like, it's not going to go anywhere else. And it's nice when people open up, and it's cathartic. It is.
And doing what I do, it's you can see you change. It can change your life just opening up, because it's getting weight off your chest, and the weight off your shoulders can be such a tremendous burden lifted when you talk to people. That it's good to talk.
A problem shared is a problem halved.
It is. Now, behind you, but there we got a little screen.
Oh yeah, it's quite big. Actually. It just looks. Yeah. It's because it's far away.
It's
Oh, there it is.
Now, Christian or Chris is also known as Doc Strange. Now, this is Doc Strange. Is when I met you many moons ago. Is when you were doing Doc Strange.
Many
moons ago. Yeah, filming Border Cafe, I believe it was called.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was,
blooming heck. We were filming in some Welsh mountain, freezing.
Freezing, and that's supposed to be summer.
Yeah, and it
December.
Was horrible. And all the actors, all the main actors, were going in this little cafe and all keeping warm, and we're outside shivering. And they're all being fed, and they're giving us plastic cups of lukewarm tea in it and that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, excuse me, can we come inside, please? We're cold. And they're like, shut up, get up.
Who
do you think you are? You're just an extra.
We were sheep. They just heard it around. Put them in that shot.
I forgot. I'm going to write that down. I forgot Border Cafe. I have to look it up. Did anyone ever watch that program?
It did go on. I know it was on. I think I did watch a bit of it, and the best part of it was
that bird.
No, even better than that. Looking for us, because it's like most of this. Yeah, loads of times we're in it loads. Like,
wait,
we're in. We are
forgotten about it.
Yeah, we are genuinely in it loads. And I would look the other day, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. But I think I look a bit harder.
I just thought, right, because we got Border Cafe. We got Fun at the Funeral Parlour. Did you do any of them? You did, right?
No, did I? I can't remember if it was Fun.
I did a few of them, and I worked with different people. Paul, from the Fast Show. Paul.
Paul Whitehouse.
Paul Whitehouse. Yeah, he's a rock star. worked with him. But yeah, so I did loads of stuff in Wales. DL and Pasco.
Yeah.
Publicum.
Publicum, yeah, still there.
I know, but I'd be there. I'd be in a bar. I'd be doing different things, and they'd all be rambling on in Welsh, and I'd say, Can you just give me a clue what you're talking about so I can react? And they'd be like, "Oh, we're talking about that," and I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, all right," just usual nonsense. But soap operas and all that. But yeah, we did loads of them. Not Doctor Who. What was the one in Cardiff? And it was the it wasn't Doctor Who.
Not Torchwood.
No, not Torchwood. I've forgotten. We did so many. I found a big stack of all the receipts from all the acting gigs that we did from the Wyman agency.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I think they're both dead now.
Yeah, we don't know Ted. I think Ted is still just about there. I think
Ted's not dead.
No, I don't think so. No, I
thought Ted was dead.
No, just retired.
He faked his death, so I didn't contact him anymore.
Yeah, it's just Judith doing it now.
I remember going in there and like everybody was smoking. You go into his house, his office, and it was just fag smoke. It was like, but nobody smokes anymore, do they? Which is a good thing. And I used to smoke then. Thank goodness I stopped smoking. Best thing I ever did. I never thought I'd be able to stop smoking, and that's why I'm going to stop drinking. I've realised that it's not doing me any good. But we just do things. Very silly. Oh well. Anyway, but yeah,
good and bad for us.
Yes, but yeah, we don't want to go back to that. So yeah, Border Cafe. Oh my God,
Border Cafe. Yeah. It was. It wasn't. It wasn't the best of shows. Hence, it only did one series. But we were great though.
We were amazing. It was from what I remember. And this is 25 years ago. It is. Oh my God. Yeah. Near enough.
Yeah, at least.
It was a cafe that was done up like an American on a mountain in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. On a border.
On the border, yeah. And like we filmed up on top of the mountain, and then we went and filmed in a warehouse in a quarry for like 2 months.
Yeah.
For all the indoors.
And it was even colder. Yeah, it was even colder in the quarry. Yeah.
It was, yeah. We did have plenty of tea though.
I shouldn't say this, but I think I was stoned most of the time, wasn't I?
Yeah. It was great.
I was a massive stoner, and I think I only used to do these things because I could just turn up, have a joint, and then I'd just sit around and they'd point me and I go, yeah, I'll go and do it. And I had long hair. I looked like a real hippie anyway. And
I got photos.
Hey.
I've looked for the photos, but they must be up the attic. But there's photos of us all together. But so I'll have to.
See if we can find it.
I will. And I did come and stay with you once.
Did you?
Yeah. In Newport, we took photos in a graveyard.
Yeah, that's right. We did. Yeah, you took the photograph that I ended up using as my headshot. Yeah. And you were using my camera that you'd never used before. And actually, have I still got the... I don't think it's in here. No, it's not in here. I've got this one. This is a good one. This is a really good picture. Look at that.
Yes.
I love that picture. That's taken by a guy called Matthew Wright, who's a brilliant magician, but he's also a fantastic photographer, and he took all my pictures for me, and I just love him. Great book, by the way.
Well, I was just going to say great book because bear with me a second. I've actually got a little this was the original
cover. Yeah,
original cover. Now this is the one that I've got. I'm gonna get that one as well because obviously they're collectible items.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, what I do is I change covers, I change T-shirts and things like that. I like what it says on the back. It says, "This book is a wonderful read. Don't let its title fool you. Being a play on the author's stage name, it's a must read for hypnosis enthusiasts, hypnotists, and practitioners alike. Not just for the beginner trying to get into stage hypnosis, but for anyone who wants to improve and build upon their show to take it to the next level. And that's from Sellers, who's a very, very big. Well, he used to be really big, but he lost about 30 stone. Yeah, really big hypnotist in America, and yeah, I'm really proud of that book. I get a lot of good feedback.
Yeah, it is. I've read it twice.
Because it's uplifting. It's uplifting.
It is, and it's like having a history, a past with you. And it was like and then we found each other on Facebook. I hunted you down and stalked you until you accepted my friend request, and then it was like then you released the book. I thought I've got it. And I think it was the first week that it was out. I bought it, and like I said, I've read it twice. I got it down the office. And it's like, yeah, it's a great book, like, and so it's not only a book about learning hypnotism and how to be a hypnotist. It's your story.
Yeah,
it's your story of how you became.
It's one of the stories.
One of the stories. I might be for the second book now. Then,
yeah, there is. There's a few paths that I've gone down, right, and I've branched off into different ways, like with the kid shows or the drag act, that I did.
That I missed.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No,
I used to be a blue comedian. I used to do a lot of stuff in the valleys with the working men's clubs and all that, and they used to do shows on a Sunday morning. And I used to go and do them. Yeah, I could write a full book about that, but I'm not going to, because is this a family program?
No. This show may contain strong language and subjects of an adult nature, says at the bottom.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. No, this is we talk. It is what it is, like.
Yeah, it is what it is. Apparently I got told you actually only stupid people say it is what it is, but I say it is what it is all the time. And then I go, oh yeah, it's only stupid people that say that.
And it was pointed out to me this week. We did a podcast at the beginning of the week. We were talking about this, and it's quite a new phenomenon. It isn't what it is, though.
No, it isn't what it is.
It isn't at all.
It is something, but it's not what it is, because it cancels itself out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we say stupid things because it's things become trendy, words and phrases when it becomes popular.
Subliminally, we pick them up from other people as well. Everyone's saying this all of a sudden. It's all about words. Words are spells.
One phrase that I can pinpoint to probably about. Oh, I'd say about 1985. And that was wind your neck in. And I'd never heard anybody say it before. And this kiddie was on CB radio, and he just told somebody to wind that. He said, "Why don't you wind your neck in?" And I was like, "Wind your neck in? Wind your neck in." and I've been saying it ever since. It's one of the, wind your neck in. It's just like, shut up. Just stop talking. But now there's things that people say that are just, you go, what are you talking about? Like sick means good, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know that it means good, it sounds like somebody's being sick, or it used to be back in the day, bad meant good. So everybody changes things around, and that's how you get to know what your clique is, your generation, because generationally language changes.
Yeah.
And then you sound stupid saying the things, like your bruv, right? Or fam. Yeah, fam. And it's like, why are you saying that? Because like you don't even like what's wrong with this?
Doesn't it mean this?
So language, and that's the thing with the stage hypnosis. It's all about language. It's about talking to people and getting in touch with their subconscious through paying attention to what it is they're doing, how they're thinking, how they're acting, and then using that, not against them, but using it to coax them into your suggestions, which are all, they might, if you're doing a show, they're going to be silly, I've always done a show where I don't abuse people. I don't make people take their clothes off or anything like. I mean, there have been occasions. Once I was doing a show up in the Lake District, and we used to do this thing. Well, I still do. I mean, it's basically the same show I've been doing for 30 years, but the people are different. The gags change, but a lot of the routines, they're as old as the hills. You're just seeing your friends doing things that they wouldn't normally do. Anyway, we're doing a thing with a roller coaster, and they're all strapped in, and they're going up and down. And then for some reason, I had them rowing a boat. I used to do this thing where they row your boat, and they'd go out to sea, and the weather had changed, and they'd act like they were hot and sweaty, and then they'd be cold and whatever. And people were laughing at a point that they weren't supposed to be laughing. I was like, why are they laughing? I turned around, and this woman had a boob tube on, and one of her boobs had fallen for like 2 minutes. Like, she's doing everything. She's got a tit out. And because they were all behind me and I'm in front, I'm talking to the audience, and I'm like, you shouldn't be laughing. And I was like, oh, crap. And I didn't grab it and put it in again. I had to go up to her and I go, like, can you cover yourself up, love? And she went like this. She went, this is what she was like. She's asleep, right? Whatever. And she goes, not again. Like it happens all the time. I'm like, why are you wearing that thing if your boobs keep falling out? But she knew what she was doing.
And there is nothing better than the unexpectedness. What people are going to do when you ask them to do things as well, because sometimes you might have asked the same question to 100 people, but then you ask to one person and they'd interpret it completely different to those 100 people.
Absolutely.
And some of the reaction that's what I find amazing about it, is the fact that you've done this 100 times with the same, I think you've had the same kind of thing, and then that one beauty that comes up.
I love it. I have a total laugh because you're doing a show that you've done before, and every time it's different, and people are making me. I'm on stage. Sometimes I'm cracking up.
Yeah,
I'm laughing. I'm like, oh God, that's so funny. But the thing is, I don't go on stage, to swear, F and blind, or whatever. But if I'm relaxed and I'm in a comfortable atmosphere and everyone's enjoying themselves, and I don't edit myself, things will come out of my mouth, and and it's just the way it is. It's the nature of the show. But it is really nice when you get imaginative people up, and sometimes the quietest people are the ones that are the funniest. And sometimes the life and soul of the party just is dull. Yeah. And so you never know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. You just got to say, look, I'm going to give you the chance to shine, right? We've all heard a joke that we think's hilarious, and we've gone to tell it to somebody and they've looked at us like we're mental because it didn't make them laugh, right? Or we mess it up. And I always say, when you're hypnotized or when you're part of a show, everything you do is funny. And it's up to me to make sure that everything they do is safe and they don't do anything that can hurt themselves or anybody else. But I always say, you can't make people do things that are against their morals or their ethics.
No.
So, when you hear about hypnotists getting women to do, strip off and do rude things, whatever, they probably want to do that anyway. And so it's up to me to make sure they don't do that. Yeah. I mean, in the early days, you'd ask people to stand up and dance, and the next thing, some guy's pulled his pants down, and you're like, I never told you to do that. Why are you showing everybody your ass? And because
he goes through disco.
Well, no, because he thinks that other hypnotists have made people do that, so that's what he wants to do. So I make a big thing. Look, you're not going to remove any items of clothing. You're not going to do anything sexual. You're not going to do anything embarrassing. It's just going to be silly and fun. Do you understand? And they're like, yes. Yeah, so no matter what I tell you, there isn't some subliminal message, to get your cock out. That's not what I'm doing, right? Because people are gagging. They want to get up on stage and be exhibitionists. And I said, that's not what this is about. Whereas if you're a bit of a perv and you want people to do that, and you call yourself a hypnotist and you allow people to do that, it's what gives it a bad name. I was in the papers because I hated the fact that people did that. It's not entertainment. I want to give you a chance to be funny and make people laugh. And I want you to feel that kudos, that adoration of people laughing and getting the applause. And I want you to go away buzzing. I want you to feel amazing. I don't want you to be degraded. Sorry, I don't know what degraded. I was coming out with some weird word there. I don't want you to be degraded or feel embarrassed. I want you to be able to watch this video, because I video every show, even the shit ones, but you don't know they're going to be shit when you start, you know.
No.
And I want you to be able to watch this with your grandparents and not be embarrassed. And once I get that across, you know, then they're free to be childish and silly. And afterwards they go, do you know what? I didn't have a care in the world. I enjoyed myself. I didn't feel like you made me do anything that I didn't want to do. And that's a result for me. And if the audience gets a good laugh and everybody enjoys it and people go away feeling energized and empowered and you know, they've had a good time, then brilliant. That's why I do it.
And it does, you kind of, all you're doing really is just giving them permission to let go of their inhibitions and not worry what other people are thinking.
See, I can tell you've read my book twice. Go on.
And be willing to, you know, let go. Because that's what it's about, is letting go and just being in the moment and having fun.
Stop being an adult all the time.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we forget what it's like to be a kid. I mean, we only spend, and it's getting shorter and shorter, we only spend 14 years of our life as a child. Really, we only spend 10 years as a child, because from 4 to 14, we're still finding ourselves. You know, when only when you get to about 4 or 5, you've got a really strong sense of self, but you still don't know everything that you like, or you're still learning. And so you've got 10 years of being a kid, and then you've got 60 years as being an adult, where you have to act like you know what you're doing and be grown up and whatever else. And it's depressing and it's stressful.
It is, but I'm 47. I still haven't grown up yet.
No, don't.
No, I'm still not growing up yet. It's because
you've got to have your toys. Go on.
Well, yeah, you have. You've still got to have fun in your life. You've still got to be able to let go and laugh, because laughter is the best medicine you can ever have.
Unless you're asthmatic, and then it's Ventolin.
And then it's insulin. Yeah. No,
that's not my gag. That's a John Thompson gag, but I can't help but tell it every time.
So why did you start, Chris?
Why?
Tell us what was the what set?
Start entertainment or hypnotism?
Well, entertainment, all of it, really.
Oh, that's been in my blood since. Well, it's been in my blood since before I was born. My dad was a singer and a musician and a comedian. I never really knew him. I spent all my life chasing him because he was off all over. He lived in South Africa for 38 years, I think. And I went out there and worked with him a couple of times, and we didn't always get on. But he turned up on our doorstep in 2012 asking for help. He had a tracheotomy, and it turned out that he had cancer of the throat. He had a big, it was like the size of a tangerine, this cancerous growth, and it was choking him. And he came back to England, and the NHS took him in, because he'd paid his dues when he was younger. And they slit him open from there to there. They took that out. They put a stoma in. And this is a singer. And one thing that amazed me was he never complained during it all. And even once he'd had the stoma and he'd learned to talk, and he used to speak like that, he was talking about joining a choir, singing with all these other guys that had it done. I mean, this sounded fucking terrible, but but it's true, and they know that. But it's something that they love to do, and and there is a choir. I can't remember the name, the Stormer Choir, but anyway, I mean, it's fabulous what they do. It's and they're still making music and all this. So I got 2 years with my dad, and my daughters got to know him as well, and I was really proud of him. And he said to me that not only was he proud of me, but he said, "You become the man I always wanted to be." So But all my life I grew up thinking he was a dickhead. And it wasn't. He wasn't at all. It's just because he had his dream, and his dream was to entertain. And so my point is that I felt that all my life. I felt I saw my dad traveling the world and on cruise ships, and he had a rock band, and and he'd send me cuttings and clippings and all this sort of thing. And I always wanted to be better than him. I always wanted to do what he did, and I never knew what a good guy he was, because, well, you hear that certain people talking about somebody, and you tend to believe them. And anyway, he was brilliant. So I was from a very early age, I knew what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to entertain, because when I was 5, I mean, I was doing pantomime for I was doing pantomime for years. I mean, we did loads of stuff, because I used to go to United Reformed Church, and my mum, because it was single mum, she used to drop us off there on a Sunday, and we'd do Sunday school. And I used to go there, and I used to do magic tricks and everything. And I used to entertain, and they'd get us up on the stage, and they'd have us singing and all this sort of stuff. And plus they did the pantomime, and I remember singing Following in My Father's Footsteps. It was a song that they chose for me to sing, and I was 5, and to me it was like an audience of 1,000 people. There was probably about 200 people, if that, but I sang this song, Following in My Father's Footsteps, and the crowd went wild. To me, not only were they clapping, and I saw them standing up and cheering, and I was like, oh, this is fabulous. This is what I want to do. I want that all the time. Yeah. And my mum always used to say, you like being the center of attention, as an insult. And I was like, yeah, I do actually like being the center. That's exactly. Well done, Mum. That's the thing, because I was always loud, but all I ever wanted to do was make people smile. I wanted to make people happy. If I saw somebody that wasn't happy, I'd tell them a joke. I'd do something silly. I just wanted to get a giggle out of somebody, Yeah. And I used to do it all the time. I mean, now I'm a miserable shit, but I used to be on it all the time. I just wanted to make people laugh. And so when I was 7, I did a children's, like a talent competition in Rowley Park in Blackburn. And there was a very famous, I'm going to tell it because I'm honest, but there's a very famous person there who, one person came up to me and said, I didn't win. A little girl won. She's singing Good Ship Lollipop, doing a Shirley Temple thing. And this adult said to me that the reason you didn't win is because you wasn't very good. And I always, I know, twat. And I always think, I tell this to kids, I say, look, even though that person said I wasn't very good at magic and entertaining, here I am still doing what I love, right? And all right, I'm still shit, but it doesn't. I'm doing what I love, and if you do what you love, if you follow your passion, you're going to be a happy person, right? So do that. Now, if there's people out there that are technically better than you or whatever, don't let that stop you from doing what you do, because so what? Other people are gifted. Other people have got more time to practice, or they make more of an effort. But I know people as magicians who are fantastic technically, but they're fucking boring, right? And you wouldn't want to go and watch them. But I also know people who are really, really funny, and they're not brilliant magicians, and that's kind of me. I mean, I'm okay, I mean, the thing is, magic's my life, so I'm like an encyclopedic knowledge of magic, but and how things work and everything, because it's what I love. But there was somebody else at this children's thing. It was Jimmy Savile. Now, before you say anything, he said to me, he signed my autograph book. God, I was 7, so this is a long time ago. I'm 53 tomorrow, so it's 45 years ago. 46 years ago. Oh yeah, and he signed my autograph book and said, and I think I did a trick for him. I didn't turn a trick for him. I did a trick. And I did this trick, and he was like, "You're very good, son. You keep it up. You keep practicing and get up on the stage and keep doing it, and you'll do all right." And I was like, wow, that's, that's what I'll do. Thank you. Not knowing what kind of a person he was. But I told this. I was at a children's entertainers convention last year, because that's what I do. Fuck off. And why are you laughing? It's not funny. Stop laughing. So I'm at this children's entertainers convention, and we're having a laugh, and we're all learning tricks and everything. And somebody was filming; they were doing this thing, and I told this, and I said, even evil people can do a good turn. Do you know what I mean? And my mate is with me, butted in, and he went, yeah. He said, well, you never were a good-looking kid. I was like, all right, yeah. So I dodged a bullet there, but yeah, but that's it. So I've always had the urge to be on stage and to entertain, and and I love it. I love being the center of attention. But you don't have to be the best. You just do what you love. No, it doesn't
stop me. Doesn't stop me. I'm exactly. I do it because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy putting a smile on people's faces and making people laugh. And so and it's everyone tells me how shit I am, and it's like, thank you, thank you very much.
At least they're watching you. They're watching you, so it's like if they didn't watch you, they wouldn't know whether you were good or bad. So
exactly.
Groucho Marx says. What was it? Something like, I don't care what people have to say about me. It's when they stop talking about me, that's when I worry. Something like that.
Yeah. No, that's something like that. It is, yeah. But it's true though. It's true. As long as they keep talking about me, then I'll keep doing it. Even when I haven't done Elvis now for a number of years, but people still talk about it. And it's like, well, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to fast forward. This is a shit one.
This is a shit one. See, they get in a double show now, right? They can watch this live, and then they can go back and watch what was on the telly.
Yeah, I don't watch that.
in the background for a rewatch.
No, that's a crappy one. In fact, a lot of them are crap. This is a good one. Hang on, I'll put this one on. Wait a minute. It's not casting, it's doing its own thing now. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, mine does that. The first time I go on, it's fine, but everything else, it just goes into a queue system, and then and then I give up.
Yeah, so
what's working?
Ask me why I started doing the hypnotism.
Yeah, Chris, so tell me, why did you start doing the hypnotism?
That's a very interesting question, and thanks for asking. So I used to shoplift as a kid, and I used to steal sweets and basically anything that wasn't nailed down, because I was light-fingered little fucker, and I would nick whatever I could, because it seemed a good idea, because I had friends that did all that, and as a little kid, I used to do what my friends did. And my mum used to say things like, if they jumped off a bridge, if they told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? And but probably yeah. But I was interested in hypnosis because I saw this guy called Kreskin on TV, and he'd hypnotize the whole audience, as far as I was concerned, and he had people jumping up out of the chairs and whatever. And I thought, oh, this is good. If I can learn hypnosis, I can hypnotize shopkeepers to give me stuff, and then I don't have to nick it anymore. And I must have been about 10. Yeah, I must have been about 10 because I thought, well, I'd already got carted off to the police station, right? Because I got caught. Because I'm a stupid school kid, and every day on my way to school, I'd go into this shop and buy 2 pence worth of sweets, and nick whatever else I could from this old bird behind the till. Yeah, I was nicking packets of consulate, and so I thought, wouldn't it be good if I could hypnotize And the only way I could get books was to go down to the library, and the library was a good 2 mile away in Blackburn Town Centre. So I used to go to the library, and I'd hang about in there trying to find books on hypnosis, magic, whatever. And sometimes they'd order them for me, but most of the time it'd be books on theatre and stagecraft and psychology, and I'd just sit there and I'd sit and read with a lot of homeless people who used to be called tramps back in the day, you know. And if it was bad weather, the tramps would sit in the library and they'd spend the day in the library, and I'd talk to them as well. And I got really friendly with a lot of them, actually, all the street people. And I actually found that quite exotic, being homeless and on the streets, which I actually ended up being in my teens. But the thing was, I would read all these books, and then I realized that I was learning stuff that nobody else was learning in school. Everybody was doing, you know, like they'd go to school and they'd learn whatever in school, and then they'd go home and they'd watch telly. You know, for me, it was spending all the time in the library and reading. And I never listened in school. I paid no attention. I was pretty much a dickhead because people wanted me to do magic and stuff, so I'd mess around in class, and that put me in the dunces class, in the special class. And so, but I learned other things. So I got taken. We used to do this thing where we'd learn bricklaying, plumbing, and welding. Which I did for a while, and cooking. We had an Indian chef that would teach us how to cook, and we'd go around to her house, and I had a different schooling to a lot of people, and I really enjoyed it because I wasn't like academic at all, but I love reading. You know, I mean, I've got books all over the place, and I've recently learned, I follow a guy called Tim Ferriss. And if you don't know Timothy Ferriss, he's written some brilliant books. One of them's The 4-Hour Work Week. What he says, he's got a brilliant blog as well, and podcast. You just look it up, tim.blog. And he says, you know, why spend all your time learning to do something that you're not going to use? Like, you know, he'd say I'd spend so much time reading a book on a particular subject that I would probably never put into use. He said, now what I do is it's called just-in-time learning. And the idea is that if you've got something coming up and you've got no knowledge of it, but you need to learn it, you get you go on Amazon and you get the top rated books on that particular subject, and you skim them, and then you speed read them. And you do that through all the books, and you get a really good gist of whatever the subject is, you know. I think, is it? Branson. I'm not a fan of Branson anymore, Richard Branson, because he's proved himself to be a real shit. But he said something like, not fake it till you make it, but, do you know what? I've gone off on a tangent. I forgot what he said now. It'll come to me. But yeah, if you're going to learn anything, do it from books. And I'm saying that I've got into woodwork now. I built my own woodshed, and I loved it so much. I've just bought myself a load of tools, and I'm going to start making stuff out of wood. And I've been watching this guy on YouTube. who's been a woodworker since he was 7. So he's 40 years, and he's teaching me everything I need to know and all the pitfalls and all that. And so I'm watching woodworking videos at the moment because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be entertaining for the next, for the next 6 months. So I might as well do something else. So I'm teaching myself woodworking. Yeah.
And YouTube, is a brilliant place to go. It's where I go to learn everything. If it's something I'm not sure on, I'll look up a few videos on YouTube because there's somebody teaching you it somewhere on there. Great place of learning.
You're going to play some music because I need a wee.
If you need a wee, you go for a wee and I'll put my advert on.
What are you going to do?
I'll put an advert on.
On what?
An advert.
On advert. Are you going to put an advert on?
I'll put an advert on.
An advertisement.
An advertisement.
Okay, yeah, we've done 45 minutes. People watching this will need a wee as well. Everybody go for a wee.
Yeah, everyone go for a wee. And we'll put an advert on.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, intermission, toilet break, whatever you want to call it. Welcome back to Benney Babbles, the second half. Yeah, it's a new way of doing it, I suppose. On the show tonight, if you just tuned in, we got Christian P Taylor, better known as Doc Strange. Renowned hypnotist, children's entertainer, magician, author. There's as long as the tattoos on my arms that's how many entertaining things he does. There we are. It's like you've never gone.
Oh, I had a big wee.
A big wee. Like you never. Seamless. It was seamless with us.
Was it? You didn't see me skidding in to the room.
So you started hypnosis then because obviously of you shoplifting, but then you carried on.
Yeah. So learning the hypnosis or studying that and reading so much other stuff, I realized that stealing's bad, lying's bad, bullying's bad, racism very bad. I learned so much, and I think I'd learned as much as I could without traveling. And I'd been to South Africa when I was 12. My dad flew me out there, and that was eye-opening. Did lots of very interesting things, and that was it. You know, I mean, I flew over there on my own. They put me on a plane, and I got looked after by these air hostesses, and I thought this is all right. And then I wanted to travel, and I knew if I traveled, I'd get to meet people, and I'd get to learn stuff, and I'd get to be able to be myself because I'm born and bred in Blackburn, Blackburn, Lancashire, where the pigeons fly upside down because there's no worth shitting on, and I've been saying that for years. The thing is, in Blackburn, as a kid, I wasn't encouraged to entertain at all by anybody. My mum thought it was a waste of time. Bless her, you know, like get a proper job, and that was everybody else. Sorry, I'm itching. Everybody was like, "Oh God, why don't you, work in a shop or this, that, and the other?"
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to entertain, and in Blackburn at the time, basically everybody was racist. Everybody was ignorant. There was a lot of. I just wanted to get out. I didn't like. I mean, I love Lancashire. I love Blackburn, but I didn't want to stay there anymore.
Yeah.
And like I said, I used to have friends that were a little bit naughty. And I learned that if you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. And I didn't want to be in a position where I was doing things just to make friends.
Yeah.
And so I went traveling, and I was, first thing I did was go to London. I wanted to see London, and I ended up on the streets in London for a while. And then I found I could travel. It's a long story, but basically, I traveled. I met lots of people. I broadened my horizons, and that's what travel does. And I think anybody that travels properly, and gets to see the world, can't possibly be racist at all. There's annoying people of all races, colours, and creeds, but there's also amazing people. And just because somebody is a different skin or dresses differently or smells differently, I used to get this all the time. Up in Blackburn, it was all they smell funny. Well, they eat different food, and it's just stupid shit. And I love seeing what's going on at the moment. And I know we've got this whole COVID thing, and I'm frightened to death. I mean, I'm asthmatic. The last thing I want is to be catching that. But there's people standing up for 400 years of oppression, and brilliant seeing that statue pulled down today. I was cheering for that, and dragged it along the streets and chucked in the water where all the slave ships would have been parked up. I mean, Bristol, but England is built on racism, really, and built on
colonialism.
Colonialism, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, and the whole Brexit's bollocks. I think we've big mistake. It's unbelievable that people voted for it, and they're starting to see now what a mistake it is, and it's amazing how many people are now going, actually, what have we done?
Yeah, what have we done? Yeah, it's
all because of foreigners. All these foreigners have gone. Now they need us to pick the vegetables in the fields, and Prince Charles was on telly going, yes, what I'd like to do is go out in the fields with the arm, just like during the war, and we need a land army. Right? Fuck off! You do it, you prick.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's his stuff. He wants picking, and that's the only reason he's doing that.
Yeah, they've sent out. All these people have gone because they were made to feel uncomfortable. Because they speak a different language or they were born somewhere else. Who gives a shit? We're human
beings at the end of the day, and it's you're not born a racist. You learn it, so you can unlearn it.
You're taught, I used to talk like a racist when I lived at home. I used to repeat the things that other people had said.
Saying, yeah,
grandparents and all that. And then you go, Jesus, why am I saying that? And it takes a while for you to go, or somebody to call you out. For somebody to say, why are you even saying that? I remember, I'm not going to say it, it's a P word, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Right? Yeah.
And I went to, when I was in London, I said it. I said, we're going to go to the P shop, right? And I know they do it in South Wales as well. I lived in South Wales.
Yeah.
The P shop, right? And someone was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that. Why are you even? And I was like, why? Said, well, he's Indian for one. Oh yeah, okay. So and yeah, I learned not to be racist. And I never felt like I was a racist. I would just say things that other people said.
Yeah, it's language, isn't it?
That's where we are. People are like doing this. Okay, Black Lives Matter, and then some prick will go, "Yeah, all lives matter." Well, fuck off. Would you know? Listen, if your house is on fire, you need somebody to put that out, and there's some prick watering down his house, and his house is fine. It's like, whoa, can you? Well, all houses matter. Yeah, but that's the one that's on fucking fire. You prick. Put that one out.
Put that one out. Yeah.
Save the whale. Well, all the other fish in the sea. What about them?
We're living in a very, very, very strange time, and I never thought that this time would be something that I would live through. Because there's so much going on, and I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news for a long time. I don't read newspapers. I can't, because it's just bombards me with negativity, so I just don't do it. But I can understand why people are like they are, because it's turning people. Everything's about me. Do you know what I mean? Everything's about when the food thing happened, everyone went out and it's not the community. It's about me, and it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Once upon a time, we had community. And we need that again. And I think this lockdown and everything has made people a little bit more caring. But we've still got the Karens on Facebook who are just coming out with the most ridiculous shit. Like there's people protesting. Oh, but somebody threw a brick at a horse. Right. There's people protesting about 400 years of subjugation with the black people who've basically had enough. And I stand by their side. Right on, brother. Right. And you're going on about some twat who threw a brick at a horse, right? And that's a bad thing. But there's a much bigger picture. And it's just like a football match. 99% of the people that go to a football match go for the football, but 1% are a bunch of assholes who just want to fight and cause trouble. Well, that's what's happened with the protest. There's people going there who are just there to kick off.
And sadly, the news is concentrating on that.
Yeah.
Instead of concentrating on what they should be concentrating on, they'll concentrate on that because that makes it more exciting, and it fits their agenda as well. Yeah. So this is why one of the reasons why I don't watch news anymore. I'll pick up my bits. I'll look for news myself rather than watch what's fed to me. Is sad, really.
Well, we've gone, like, it used to be conspiracy theorists were completely nuts, and now people who actually search out actual news and actual footage, like this one where the horses running around, and people are saying, "Oh, the policeman's been knocked off the horses by the protesters," and then somebody else sends a video in of this policeman racing his horse through a crowd of people, and he knocks himself off the horse because he goes into traffic lights. Right.
Yeah,
He clotheslines himself, right? And then this poor horse is running around lost, right? And people are getting in the way of the horse, and the horse is panicking. Well, the news will pick it and they'll make it look like the protesters have done that to the horse. And so you got all these people full of self-indignation going, "Oh, what about it?" And it's not the facts. So what we do is we try to find the actual facts, and you can do that now.
You can,
videoing everything. They're videoing everything. I want to see the live video. I don't want to see some edited video that the news company has got hold of and fiddled them out with. I want to see the actual video, and it's all there. It's all on Twitter. It's all
there for you to see. Just all you got to do is just look. But it's easier sometimes.
Pick up a right-wing newspaper and read the shit that they want you to believe, or watch the BBC and let them spout BBC News, load of old shit. You know, I mean, I cancelled my television license and I only play Amazon Prime and Netflix and Now TV, and you don't need a license for that.
No, very true. Yeah, and there's, as people, what's the word I'm looking for? An awakening of people, I suppose, that are willing to go and look for facts rather than just accept. But yet, when you go and look for the facts and you try and explain to people, look, if you look here, they're not even willing to.
No, they're not. No,
not even willing to even look themselves, and it's sad. It's sad, but
people are voting against themselves.
Yeah. Exactly.
Absolute madness. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're just scaremongering. It's Project Fear." No, we have researched, we've read, we've looked at the documents, we've researched this stuff, and we're not just being force-fed shit from the newspapers and whatever. We're actually making an effort to go, is this right? I need to find out if this is right.
And this is something that I've tried to do all my life, is try and find another opinion on a subject, because I know I've changed my mind so many times because I was willing to listen instead of just arguing back.
At the start, I thought Brexit was probably a good idea at the start because they made it sound really good. I was like, "Oh, this makes a load of sense." Yeah, and then they said something before the bus. They said something about I can't remember what it was now, but I was like, "What? That doesn't sound right." And so I started making more of an effort to read stuff that's published and not just reading The Guardian, which has got some good stuff, but they can be a little bit left wing, and which I am anyway. I'm left wing, but I'm not like completely mad. I'm a socialist. I want everybody to do well, but I think the more I read into it, the more I realized these fuckers are lying to us. They're lying, and people are swallowing it up. And they're saying, "Oh yeah, the NHS, £350 million to the NHS, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and they use this, blah blah blah, and sovereignty, and unelected officials." And I'm like, "Well, hang on, look at what's happening." Dominic Cummings, it wasn't elected.
Yeah,
this guy, it's all been artificial intelligence and all the bots and everything that's going on the internet. The fact that the whole thing was run through Facebook, it's all manipulated. You only get to see on Facebook what they want you to see, and people go, "Oh no, you sound like a conspiracy theorist now." No, it's all fact. It's all out there. It's all published, right?
Yeah, that's the worst. It just makes me laugh when I get that thrown at me, of, "Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist." It's like
it's an insult.
Yeah, but they think it's an insult. I take it now as, "Oh, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I'm willing to look at other people's point of views." Critical thinking
is what's missing.
It's
right? Like if somebody posts something on Facebook and I go, oh, I'm going to share that. And then I go, hang on, let me just make sure that's true. And so I will, before I post them, then and I have clicked something because I'm like, oh, that's really bad. And somebody's gone, why did you share that? That's fucking
yeah. I've done the same. Yeah.
Shit, why did I do that? But most times I'll look it up, and sometimes I don't, and then sometimes I'm right, and sometimes I'm not, and then I go fucking hell, and then I'll delete it, and I go, sorry, I was wrong about that. It's like this thing with the horse, people are still going on about it's not peaceful protesters, it's this. Nadine Dorries, horrible woman. She was saying about the protesters were doing this, that, and the other, and knocking the guy off the horse. And they said, well, actually, here's the video showing he knocked himself off the horse. What do you think of that now? And she shut up. But you'll still get people who go, oh, yeah, well, they guided him that way. He wasn't originally going to ride his horse that way, but obviously the people forced him to. And that, Jesus Christ, you can't win.
No, it's just fear tactics of everything. It's a strange world. Oh, let's get back to you. Let's get back to you.
Yeah, back to me. Sorry, I'm rambling on.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's a stranger world we're going into then.
Party political broadcast. I didn't go on about it. I don't think I slagged anybody off. Did I?
No, you were good. You were good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay. Go on, ask me anything.
Spain. This is where you kind of honed your tone, your skills of hypnosis, I suppose. Was it
Tenerife?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd been doing the shows. I did Blackpool Summer Season in 1993 at the Foxhall, and I did Tuesdays and Thursdays as Michael Moon, the singing hypnotist, and I couldn't sing, but it was my mate Brian, rest his soul. He said, you've got to do something a little bit different. And every night people would come and they'd ask me when I'm singing, and I go, it's a misprint. But sometimes I'd go, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Yeah, I didn't sing, but that was the name. And we used to fill this place, and that was good fun. So I did loads and loads of shows at Blackpool. And then what they didn't know was I was sleeping in a tent in a cow field. And my mate Brian had told everybody that I had a big American RV that I was living in. And I used to ride my push bike from this campsite down to the Foxhall, and I'd fasten it up, and I'd go and do my gigs, and then I'd ride back, usually pissed. It used to take me about 25 minutes to ride there and about 3 hours to get home. And so I did that, and then I was like, oh, do you know what? I've had enough. I mean, it was so bad. It was so cold and so windy. The first tent that we had, Brian was a lot older than me, but he's like my mentor. And he came and stayed in this tent with me. Right, we bought this silver tent. It was new age. It was like a little dome tent, and we put this up in this field in Blackpool. It's February. It's cold as shit. It's windy, and we obviously didn't put it. We didn't do it properly. I don't know what we did, but we woke up in, like, it was pissing down with rain. It was windy, and we woke up and there was no tent. We were just covered in a sheet, and the tent had gone. Right, and it's middle of the night, and it's windy, and it's raining, and we're cold and wet, and we're like, we've got to find this. We'd not fastened it down properly or enough. And so I got my torch, and I'm shining my torch round, and we found this silver cover of the tent. It had flown and landed on a cow, and this cow was walking around the field. It couldn't see where it was going because it's got this fucking silver tent, and we're shining, and it's lighting up, and we can see this. It looked like a big ghost. This fucking cow running around this field. So yeah, the next day I took that back, and I said, "This is a load of shit. This tent.
There's something wrong with this tent."
Yeah, right. And this the company was really good, and they swapped it, and I ended up buying a second-hand ridge tent, and proper old army, Boy Scout type thing. And I went and put that up, and I lived in that for February, March, April, May. 4 months. And so lived in this tent.
Like 4 months doesn't really sound much, but when you're living in a tent for 4 months, it seems like it probably felt like an age.
Yeah, do you know what? I just had bacon grill this morning. I used to have bacon grill all the time, and I know what's in it. It's disgusting, but I'd have tins of bacon grill. And the reason I had bacon grill is because one time I was in my tent and I had my stove at the front. I was making myself bacon and egg, and the chicken, because there's chickens in this field. What I didn't realize is as I'm turning around, I'm going in my cooler and I'm getting whatever. These fucking chickens ran off with my bacon, and I'm chasing. It might have been one or two, but I think there's definitely one. I was chasing after this chicken that it's got me bacon in its gob. I couldn't catch it, and then when I came back, my other bacon had gone. So I started using bacon grill, and they didn't like that. They didn't like the smell of it, which is great. And I just had some today. I bought some, and I went, bacon grill. God, I've not had that for years. And I had some this morning, and I got flashbacks of being in a field in Blackpool. And yeah, it's all right. It's not great, but yeah. Anyway.
Bacon grill. What is bacon grill?
It's like Spam. It's
right.
Like, and you chop it into slices and you fry it up and it gets a bit crispy and soft inside. Just don't think what it's made of. Just don't even go there. No, it's everything. It's like what don't we want off the pig? Just mechanically do whatever you do with that and put it into a paste and stick it in this tin, and then some idiot will eat it. But yeah, so I'd had enough of being cold and wet, and I bumped into a guy called Andy Gapp. I used to work with him in Corfu.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't work with him. Sorry, I worked in Corfu, and he used to be the DJ at a place, a nightclub called the Bus Stop, if I remember rightly, in Dacia in Corfu, and he was at Peppermint Place. I went. Peppermint Place in Blackburn was a nightclub, and I went to meet somebody, and there he was, and I was like, oh my God, wow, how are you? And we had a chat and everything, and he said, yeah, I've just come back from Tenerife. Brilliant time. He says, you want to go? You'll absolutely love it. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And the next day I went down to Lund Poly, and I said, how much is a ticket to Tenerife? And I think it was 60 quid return, something like that, 58 quid. And I didn't have the money, but I asked my stepdad if he could get me the ticket.
Yeah.
And then I got my dole money because I wasn't working at the time. And I went off to Tenerife. And I was there for 2 weeks, and I met loads of people, and they said, you got to come back. We've got work for you for the Hypnotist show. And this was probably, when was it? It might have been about January 2000 January 94, sorry. And I was like, oh yeah, brilliant. And I went home, sold up all my stuff. And I came back, sold my van, and I came back to Tenerife, and I stayed there for 3 years. It was brilliant. And so I used to do 9 shows a week at some point. You know, I mean, I was doing loads.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant doing stuff for Club 1830 holidays and all the big hotels. And I'd be doing a show at 9 o'clock, another show at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then one at 1 o'clock, you know. And
yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, I suppose that's at that point. I suppose that's what you live in your life's dream. Really, it's because you want to entertain, and it's going from one gig straight to the other, even though it's knackering.
Yeah, I mean, I was hammered every night. You know, I mean, like,
yeah,
you go out sober. You do your first show, you might have a Bacardi and Coke. You do your second show, and you'd have another, and then by the third show, you know, you'd had 3 or 4 drinks, and you're doing it for a lot of pissheads anyway, and you go,
yeah.
And I'd just get ruder and ruder, and you know, with what's coming out my mouth,
yeah,
trying desperately to get people to keep the clothes. Sometimes you just go, fuck it, do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. and then with the days that nobody was filming anything anyway, thank God, unless they had a bloody video recorder, and you can see the red light red light on. Some guy would be there like sneakily trying to film you. Turn that shit off. And I have got some videos of them, but yeah, it was cracking. Really good time. And then I met a girl, and I moved to South Wales, moved to Usk. And 2006, I was in Usk. I think probably about August, September. And yeah, after 3 seasons in Tenerife, there I was in Usk, and then that's why I started doing stuff in Wales, and I moved to Newport, and I was there until 98, and I thought I want to go traveling. I want to travel again, and I went to Australia and buggered my knee up, and stayed in Bali for a bit, and then came back, went to Newport Hospital, and I forgot the name of it, and they fixed my knee, or kind of, and then I was there until 2000, and then I found a club called Cafe Blue in Bristol, and I came over one night because it sounded really good. There was this DJ that I've been listening to. I've been dancing around the room to hard house music. And he said, we'll be down at Cafe Blue. And I went, right, that's it. And I got in my car and I drove over to Bristol and went to this club, and it changed my life. And I met my friend, who's my wife's brother, and we became good mates. And that was it. And I've been here ever since, in Bristol.
In Bristol.
Yeah.
And like, even though, like, obviously you're still performing. So what are you doing?
Not at the moment.
Well, no, not at the moment, but sadly. But so you're doing the children's entertaining,
yeah. So
and the hypnosis as well.
Yeah. So I met my wife in 2001. I met her in 2000. So it's this year is our 20th, and I met her at Glastonbury. So we were going to do Glastonbury this year. And because it's Glastonbury's 50th and it was our 20th, but anyway, that didn't work out. But we met at Glastonbury, and we had our first child in 2003, and I didn't want to miss their births or anything, so I ran a business called glowgadgets.com Limited.
I remember that.
Yeah, I used to sell all the glow sticks and all the stuff for ravers and everything. We used to go raving. And when my daughters were born, I ran this business from home. And, they'd be either playing on the floor, they'd be on my knee, and I'd be taking orders. And I never missed anything from my daughters. I was here for everything, first words, first walk, changing the nappies, feeding them. I did everything, taught them, whatever. And so that was very rewarding, and I wouldn't have missed that for the world, but I missed entertaining really badly. And so every now and again, a booking had come in, because I still had the Doc Strange website.
Yeah.
And I was doing pretty big gigs, like Wembley. I did Wembley 3 times for a big company. And but it was all ticking over, and I was doing the walk-on stuff as well with you, the extra stuff, and just trying to keep a hand in, really. And then when it got to the credit crunch, my business started struggling because my suppliers had dried up. Either they weren't giving credit anymore, or some of them went out of business or whatever. And my daughters then were 7 and 8, and it was their suggestion that I entertained kids. And I said, look, I'm a blue comedian. I do a hypnotist show. I'm not really suitable for kids. I am blind and all that. And they were adamant. They said, you can learn to do that. You can learn not to swear, Daddy. Right?
Thanks.
Having a 7-year-old saying, Dad, all you got to do is stop saying fuck all the time. You'll be all right. So I did their birthdays, and then their friends, and then it just took off, and I became Chris PT, because my name's Christian Peter Taylor. Chris PT, Chris, because I didn't want to try to be somebody I'm not, and that was why I called myself Chris Doc Strange, because I was Doc Strange for years, and people kept saying, what do we call you? And I said, well, Doc. Yeah, but what's your real name? Oh, Jesus, my name's Chris, but everyone calls me Doc. They've always called me Doc. And so I started calling myself Chris Doc Strange. But yeah, it was my daughters that got me into doing the kids stuff. And honestly, I love entertaining kids so much. It's much better entertaining, a room full of kids on a Saturday morning than it is a load of pissheads at 11 o'clock at night on the other side of the country, and you've got to drive home at 3 o'clock in the morning after having a shit gig because everybody's drunk, Whereas kids, they don't want to fight you for what. I mean, some do, but mainly they don't. I mean, you just put your hand on their head and hold them back, and if you kick them quickly, nobody sees it. No, but
tails up a sleeve.
Yeah, no, kids are great, and I love entertaining them, and I love being around kids. But as an entertainer, like now, it's heartbreaking because kids are missing out on so much. But in a positive way, they're spending more time with their family, and hopefully everybody's gaining from that. Maybe this generation of kids are going to grow up to be more empathetic. With more empathy and be nicer kind of people and used to family life. Whereas, pre-COVID, parents were just dropping the kids off and they were going off to work. And, so I don't know, maybe this is a positive thing. But for me, staying at home with my kids, doing all the things that you do with kids, and then going out and doing that on stage and making kids laugh because I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
It's brilliant because I just get to be silly, and I don't swear in front of the kids either, right? I don't swear. People go, "Oh, but you're always effing and blinding." What happens when you entertain kids? Well, there's children, and I don't swear in front of children, so it's not difficult.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. You just got to think. Hang on, I can't swear, and don't.
I just don't. You go, come on, children, sit down. We're going to do some magic. You don't go, right, you fuckers. you don't do it unless you're parents. Some of the stuff that the parents come out with.
I was just going to say, you don't need to swear because they probably viewed it all before from their parents anyway.
Yeah, I used to do this thing when I used to do the show at the Orlando in Tenerife, and I used to say, look, parents, this is an adult show. What we're doing here is we're doing a show that's for grown-ups. But I understand you're on holiday. But this is 9 o'clock. It's Watershed. I'm not gonna not swear. I'm just gonna. We're not gonna do anything rude. Or sorry, I keep scratching my bloody nose. We're not going to do anything weird or rude or whatever. And it's child friendly. However, there's going to be bad language. And I just want to prove to you that, kids understand. And I'd get the microphone, I'd go up to the kids, and all the kids would be sat in the front. And I'd say, right, I'm really sorry. There's going to be naughty words and everything. But, I want you to enjoy the pair, everybody getting up. But you must stay where you are. Don't you come on stage and getting stood on or whatever. Who knows a naughty word? And kids would put their hand up, and you go, "What?" And it's bottom. Oh yeah, that's a good one. What do you know? Poo. Oh yeah, that's it. Boobies. Oh, terrible. Yeah, you do know some really bad words. What about you? Cunt. Sorry, no. No. Where did you get that from? Oh, it's what my mum calls my dad. And right. And I go, see, that's not me. How old are you? Seven.
But it is, isn't it? They probably know more swear words than us.
I treat kids like miniature adults, right? And I respect them, and I don't talk down to them. I never have done. I know children's entertainers, and it's all, hey kids, by the way, oh shut up. Kids don't want that. They just want to have a laugh, and so I do the way I do it, the way I entertain kids is I'm just this idiot, and I shouldn't being a grown up. I should know how to do something, and I obviously don't know how to do it.
Don't know how to do it. Yeah,
I don't know how to do it, and they just think it's hilarious. They go, this guy is useless. How does he even put his jacket on?
So you've got a comedy partner you do it with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
chicken chops. I'm not getting him out. Don't make me. Because everyone's going to be watching my lips. Look, see what I say. You don't
put the microphone in front of you.
I could wear the mask, couldn't I? You don't have to be the best children's entertainer. You don't have to.
See, it works. It works now in COVID times.
Right. So you want me to do some ventriloquism now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that for you. In fact, I'm really good now. No, you're not. Yes, I am. You know, I am. I'm very good at it. You're rubbish. I am not rubbish. And you, hang on, I'll get it. Come here.
Oh dear.
It's a puppet. It's a puppet.
It's a puppet.
What are you doing? Get this on my head. There you go. Say hello to Geraint. Borda. Very good. Now then, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Oh, daffodil. No. No, I told you not to do that. Now look. Don't. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose after lockdown.
Made out of panties. I don't think they washed them.
I can say you could charge more if they used.
Oh dear. Yeah. So no, that's keeping jobs.
Oh dear. I haven't laughed so much in ages. But they can find lots of stuff's on YouTube as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I for the lockdown, I put loads of my kids' videos. So the Chris PT. Hang on.
At Crisp T.
No.
Crispy T Magician. And is that Twitter or Instagram?
No, he doesn't do Twitter. I do Instagram, yeah. Chris PT on Instagram. Yeah, so that it's all kid friendly. But I'm showing lots of photographs that are not really to do with. You'll find me on TikTok as well. I'm on TikTok, Chris.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we do TikTok. But somebody said I need to repost all the videos that I did because apparently it rolls and they get further back. And if you get the video and you put it out again, you're allowed to do that apparently. So I've done videos and then I've kind of left them. But apparently a video that might only have a couple of hundred views, if you put it out again another day, like not straight away, but give it a few days, you put it out, you might get a few thousand views. So I'm gonna have to try that. It seems a bit spammy to me, but apparently that's what you do.
That's TikTok for you.
Yes, TikTok. So yeah, the TikTok's good. I do enjoy that. I enjoy it a lot more than I do Facebook. And as soon as we went into lockdown, I went into lockdown about a week before everybody. I said, that's it, I'm not going out. And I started doing stuff on TikTok and I was doing stuff for the kids. I was doing happy birthday messages on WhatsApp, but it got ridiculous. I was getting hundreds and hundreds of requests a day. And I just had to stop doing it because it was driving me daft. I mean, yeah, people would they donate some money, they'd send me a few quid, but the amount of time that it took me to do these and then I wasn't getting any feedback. I think out of all the ones that I did, I probably had 2 where somebody had sent me a video from a little girl saying, thank you very much for the video. You made me laugh. And another one was a photograph of her smiling with a picture of me. And that was it. So I got no feedback and I wasn't doing it for the money. So yeah, I stopped doing that. It got a bit weird. And then, yeah, I had the backdrop and I had the puppet and it was just me talking to myself and I was doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, and I see people doing all this entertaining. I mean, there's a couple of things else that I'm doing. So we've got I do a podcast with my friend Ian, and we call it Doc Strange and the Dude, and you'll find that on Spotify.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Doc Strange and the Dude. So look that up, and that's good fun. But it's a little bit ranty. Because we're ranting all about politics and everything. But what we are doing is we're going to be doing more sketches. We've got Ian's writing some really funny stuff, and he does really good videos. If you look up Holy Mole on Twitter or on YouTube, he's got some fantastic videos where he's doing piss takes of Cummins and that, but he does it all to song, and he dresses up, and he's really good. What's he called? It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Dominic's coming home. And yeah, I'll have to send you a link. But if you look him up, holy mole. And then the other thing is Spooknosis. We're going to try that. Spooknosis. So it's hypnosis without hypnotizing people. So using the power of suggestion, but also telling ghost stories. And where I basically we do it over Zoom. I don't know why I'm saying sorry to you. You're a microphone. What's that? Don't start again. So what we do is we talk to people over Zoom, and we tell them stories. I say me and the spirits. But of course, some people believe in spirits and all that. I don't personally. I don't believe in ghosts and spirits and all that nonsense. But I did as a kid. That's something that I did a lot, and I used to use the Ouija board and this, that, and the other. So I know how to scare people.
Yeah.
And so what I was going to do is do this Spooknosis. We've got the website, spooknosis.com, where you can contact us, do a Zoom, bring your friends, turn the lights down, maybe just have a candle lit or whatever, and things will happen or not. It's an experiment. But there's no claim of any paranormal or whatever, but things happen, and it's not me doing it, right? So whatever it is, well, some things it's me. Sometimes it's a bit of magic. Sometimes it's a bit of trickery. Sometimes it's just in your head, but you will go away feeling like, you're going to look under the bed before you get in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a bit of fun. And that's a new thing that we're messing about with.
Because online is the place to be now, I think, and it's the only, if we're not going to be able to go out and entertain, we got to sort of alter ourselves and do something else, step out of the box and and that sounds amazing. That is.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's what we're doing now. We're connecting, we're communicating. We're not thinking about what's going on in the outside world or whatever. And rather than try to entertain people on the screen, and I've done loads of kids shows, and I'm not really bothered about doing them anymore, because
that's hard, because you don't get in the feedback. Yeah.
No, and what I found with Zoom is you've got to turn them. You've got to mute everybody. You've got to mute them all, because they all make so much noise. It's not the kids. The kids are loving it, but you can hear all the parents in the background saying, "Stop jumping around, Johnny. Oh, somebody's..." And all you can hear is the parents going, "Oh, yeah, he's just watching some silly man." Can you tell him to shut up? I can hear everything. And so when you've got 30, 40 screens and there's all that, you go, "Oh, gee." So then you mute it, and then you're just doing it to yourself, and you can see these little faces, but you're not getting the
yeah.
I'm not bothered about doing it anymore. If somebody wants me to do it, I will, and I'll charge them. You want me to do, but what I'll say is, don't pay me until the end. So we'll see how it goes, and if you enjoy it, if they enjoy it, then you can pay me, and if it's shit, then don't. But everyone's paid me. But it means that I have to do it here. I've done all the backdrops and everything. God, we're back to the shit video again.
It's determined. It's a spooks, that is.
It's in Wales. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but I did a stand-in show for somebody who was ill, and they said, "Can you do this show?" It's not the kind of venue that I would have performed
usually
in.
Do.
No, and I turned up and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." But they were all really nice and everything. It's just everybody was pissed. They'd had a rugby match on. They were all hammered, and I get there and they're all pissed. And it was, no. If I do a show, everyone has to be sober. So
they're already in a different zone when they pissed anyway. So
yeah, you don't need it. You want people to be awake, and happy. Shout out! That's so loud. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. Forget that. Go away. Go away.
I like the idea of
Spooknosis. Have you found the website?
That's what I'm looking for now. Let's see if I can. See if I can get it up. There we go.
Oh, that'd be nice for you. Been a while, eh?
It has. Let's have a look. Right. Okay, I can share this, I think.
So it's something different. And I'm not pushing it. I mean, it's like, if somebody wants it, and same again, we do it. That's it. Feel the fear.
Spooknosis.com.
Yeah. So me using a mixture of, like Darren Brown says, actually, showmanship, misdirection, suggestion, trickery, bullshit, but and I'm open about that, because all mediums and psychics are all full of shit. There's no such thing, but people want something to cling on to, and so they'll listen to that and they'll think that it's real, and it's a shame that people are led down the garden path. But what I'll say is, if you want to just have a bit of a laugh and a get together, do it on Zoom, and then all the people can all tip me. So you can either do it like, sorry, I'm burping now because of
that's all right.
I'll say, it's like 10 quid per household, right? But what happens is at the end, somebody might have had such a good time, they'll give me 20 quid.
Yeah.
And if you've only got 10 households, everyone gives you a tenner, you got 100 quid, they'll give you 20 quid, whatever. But no one's going to not give you anything, because they're going to get they're going to get an experience, something that they've never done before. It's completely unique. I mean, one of the things that made me do it was there's a guy called Kevin Kelly, and if you've ever heard the phrase 1,000 true fans, well, that comes from this guy Kevin Kelly. If I'm right, he said, "Don't be the best, be the only."
Yeah.
Which is really, I think I love that. You don't have to be the best. Just do something completely original. And nobody's doing this. This is my idea. And Spooknosis is actually the name came from my mate Ian, the dude. He came up with that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Because we wanted to create a word that nobody's ever. But saying that, there is a Thai, Korean. I think there's a Korean band that used the word Spooknosis, and when we decided to use that, there was only 4 results in the search engines, and I thought, well, no one's going to get me confused with Korean boy band.
They book you and a Korean boy band turns up.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Who said you couldn't, who said I don't sing?
Yeah, pretty boys going, come on, scare me then. I was going to do something really inappropriate then, and then somebody would go, "You're racist." Oh, Jesus Christ! You can't even take the piss out of somebody for a laugh without somebody getting on the fucking high horse, right? Because people don't know they can't tell the difference between racism and something like just being funny. One of my favorite comedians, Bernard Manning. Bernard Manning, I used to love him. He was one of the nicest guys ever. And people used to say he's racist. And I go, no, he fucking hates everybody. He would take the piss out of everybody and anybody. And they go to his club, they go to the Embassy Club, and he would just rip them all apart. And now it just seems really dated and really wrong. But it was of the time, and at the time it was hilarious. But you can't do that anymore, But what annoys me is all these comedians. Like if you happen to be an American Indian, for example, and you just do jokes about American Indians, I don't see what the difference is between you doing it or somebody else that's not American Indian taking the piss. Because I think when we used to take the piss out of each other, when we weren't so frightened about what we were going to say, because if it comes from a good place and we're not trying to offend each other, we just, like if you're at a job, a normal job, right? Like if you're a mechanic or a builder or whatever, There's all kinds of shit.
Oh God, yeah.
You're just fucking ripping the shit out of each other all the time. And when I meet people like that, I instantly go into that. I mean, sometimes like I've been with builders and they're going, fucking slow down, mate. You're being a bit fucking cruel now. And I'm like, sorry, I was like, Jim's over there. He's in fucking tears. What did you say to him? Like, sorry, I just get into this character. There's like, fucking don't do it. He's not going to sleep tonight. So, yeah, people need. People are very, very sensitive these days, and sometimes they got every right. Like I said, Black lives do matter, and I get sensitive now when some fucking says all lives matter. But yeah, it's strange times, and we need to see where it's coming from, and use a perspective that you can see that somebody's just trying to make you laugh. He's not trying to offend you, right?
Offend you, yeah.
And you can't go to like a comedy club or whatever and sit there waiting to be offended. Well, the problem I've got is when I go to do a show, there's people there who like the fuck me, it's still on. There's fucking hell. I'm going to turn it off. Fuck off. I don't want that shit on there. There's people who are going to be offended. Like I said, I used to do these shows in the Orlando. They'd have forums for people to write out on how offensive I'd been, because I'd always say to people, look, if you're easily offended by bad language or whatever, you fuck off now, right? Because you're not going to enjoy the show. And people would sit and watch, and then they'd go off and they'd complain to the management, and the management loved me, and they were so used to the odd handful of miserable twats who'd say, "Oh, he came here for a family and he's been." It's like, well, we did tell you it's an adult show. You could have gone somewhere else, right? And they'd fill out this little thing. They'd give them a form, and they'd say, "Oh, just fill that out." And then when they'd go, they'd just chuck them in the bin, because life's too short. You've got to have a laugh, and you've got to stop taking stuff so seriously. And yeah,
and it's only an opinion, though. It's just that their opinion. That if I get what you mean, because Elvis was totally offensive. And again, like you would say at the beginning, if you're going to be easily offended, then don't watch, or don't join in. And I'd always have complaints at the end of it, but I seen it as I'd done something right if I had complaints at the end.
Yeah, you can't please everybody. If you try to please everybody, you're no good. You shit. You've got to push boundaries. You've got to do. You've got to do what you feel is the right thing to do, and not try to please everyone. If you try to please everyone, and I did that starting the kid shows, I tried to keep everyone happy, and it failed miserably. And so, yeah, I get the odd complaint, or somebody will come up to me and they'll go, I don't think you should have said that. And I go, well, I appreciate you saying that, and you're probably right. And, I didn't mean it for it to come out like that, but everybody enjoyed it, and you're the only person that was offended by it. And I apologize. And but it doesn't matter what you do, somebody's not going to like what you do, and you shouldn't hold back. Just in case somebody's going to get offended.
No,
if you're trying to make people laugh, if you're genuinely trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, I've never gone out there thinking, right, I'm going to be offensive tonight. It's just I'd go out there and have a bare bones idea of what the show was, and we had certain things in certain places, but the rest of it I fed off the audience. And if they were reacting to
I've got to finish it tonight because I'm not drinking from tomorrow, and any cans that I've got left tonight are going in the bin.
Send them to me. I'll have them.
No.
I'll PayPal you the stamps. Just take a stamp on it.
It costs more in bloody postage than it will in...
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true.
I'll tell you what, if you like vodka, this Tesco vodka is really good.
No, it is. I do like Tesco vodka.
Yeah, really good. Well, any vodka's good. It's all the same. It's all just bloody vodka and different labels on the bottles,
Well, because of advertising, obviously now, because you've given up drinking, you can't have the advertise when they send us the free ones. I'll drink them for us.
I have to stop. I mean, that's from yesterday.
That's from yesterday. It's not.
No, that lasts me a week, and that's a litre. That's not good.
Well,
but that's what I mean. I've been telling myself I don't need it anymore. I really don't. And
well, birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
So fresh start for you.
Yeah.
Giving up drinking.
So
you know you can do it because you're giving up smoking.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't give up. I gained. I stopped smoking, and it was the best thing I ever did. I used Alan Coy's Easy Way to Stop Smoking, not the gay comedian.
I was going to say, then, no, I haven't seen that book.
No, Alan, yeah. I don't think that'd stop you smoking if it was Alan. Alan's
yeah,
great. No.
You'd want to put something else in your mouth.
Yeah, no, Alan, no, really? No, you've gone too far now, mate. You've gone too far. I'm sorry. That's it. Fucking fuck off. You talking about willies, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
I never tried that.
Well, put a willy in your mouth.
I would if I had a couple of ribs removed, but then I wouldn't leave the house. So.
I'd never leave the house either. I don't think I'd leave the house if I was a woman.
No, honestly, I'd be trying to find all kinds of things that would fit.
I'd just be a high class hooker. I would.
I'd be like, right, let's see. Is that too much?
Will you still be smiling?
It's like that girl that goes into the sex shop and she says, I want to buy a vibrator, and he goes, certainly. He goes, just have a look round, and she says, I like that toy one. Is that toy one? He said, that's me flask.
God, that's an old one.
She said, what about the big red one? He said, that's the fire extinguisher. Tell these to the kids. I don't tell jokes. My jokes are shit. They're terrible. I wonder if there's any. Who is it? Is this live? Is there anybody watching? Is this being recorded? Is there anybody?
It is being recorded and it is live. We have got a few people watching. Yeah.
I'm going to look at my comments. There's one person.
No, one comment. We got YouTube as well. Somebody's watching on YouTube.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where are you on YouTube? Hang on, let me have a look. Hang on.
Benney Babbles.
Fucking. My mouse is doing its own thing. My main computer died on me last night. I got the laptop I'm using now. It's super duper laptop. And I got it because I knew the big laptop was starting to be a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Because I've had it 8-9 years, and it's, I changed the hard drive in it and I saved it, but it was starting to be a bit silly. And I was in a long thing that I was doing last night, and it just stopped, and it will not come back to life. So yeah, so I'm back on the new one. Hey, what was my point? I can't remember. Yeah, so everything's out of place at the moment. So I'm doing a lot of this.
Looks like you're playing keyboards.
I look like one of the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds characters.
Right then. So what is it? Benney Babbles.
Benney Babbles podcast. Yeah.
Benney Babbles YouTube. Let's see if there's any people watching this, because honestly, I've just been having a good conversation with you. It's nice to catch up.
It has been. Yeah. I've been really looking forward to tonight.
I hope people realise that. What's this? Oh, that's not it. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that one's mine as well.
Oh. Benney Babbles. Let's have a look. Binging with Babish, Benny Big Bubble, Benney Babbles. Oh, there it is. Oh
yeah. There we are. Yeah.
Okay, that's not me and you, unless that's shit. No, don't do that.
Oh, I've just got it up. Yeah, we go one.
Oh, hang on, is that live now? Oh, click on that.
That's it.
Yay, there's nobody watching.
Yeah, we got one person. Well, it's two people now because me and you just gone there.
Fucking hell. It's just you and me. Nobody
just
shit. There's nobody. Honestly.
It's the playbacks. Even Joe Rogan guess this.
Does he?
Yeah. That's why he doesn't do them live anymore, because nobody's watching.
Really? I love Joe Rogan.
I do. Well, what a man. There's room now for another bald podcaster on YouTube, because he's going now in January.
He's going where?
He's signed $100 million contract with Spotify.
Give over.
Yeah, he's leaving YouTube. And Spotify is spending billions making a video platform just so that he can carry on. Nothing will change, and he can still do the videos and the podcasts.
Wow.
Yeah, $100 million.
But he does a really good show. He's very clever. Oh no, I won't say he's very clever. He's thought provoking, and yeah, I love his comedy. And he's a stoner.
Yeah.
He's got it all going for him, really, and he's a badass mixed martial artist.
This as well.
I
can do a bit of judo, like.
Do you?
Yeah, years ago. Like.
Judo. Or you like doing rolling on the floor, sniffing someone's bollocks?
No, sorry, Ludo. I was
Ludo, yeah.
Ludo it was, yeah.
I can see you doing Ludo, yeah. Or Cluedo. But
Cluedo. No, I haven't played Cluedo in years. I love a game.
One of my friends is a world champion judo, and I can't imagine you doing it.
Oh no, I did it when I was in my teens. For years I went right through, but then I stopped. Then I was like, I discovered girls and alcohol.
Yeah, same. I'm always impressed by Wing Chun, and Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah,
that impresses me. Bruce Lee, amazing. Jet Li, Bruce Lee. That's about it. I can't think of any others.
We check in Jackie Chan as well.
Oh, Jackie Chan, yeah. Jackie's, oh my God, he's amazing.
And still doing his own stunts as well. Like,
still, he's just phenomenal. Jesus Christ. I love Jackie Chan. Yeah, Police Story. Was it Police Story? Rumble in the Bronx. Oh my God. Yeah, that Rumble in the Bronx. I was like, shit me. That was the first Chinese martial artist to do a movie in America that was all American released. And yeah, absolute superstar. But anyway, yeah, but Joe Rogan, super duper, love him. But you need to listen to Tim Ferriss. If you don't listen to Tim Ferriss, you don't.
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss. Jeez. I mean, I've got all his books here. Look. These are all 4-Hour Work Week, Tools of Titans, Tribe of Mentors, The 4-Hour Chef. He's all about accelerated learning. Oh,
right. I enjoy that then.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. It's about learning enough to be able to do a thing without all the fluff. Like you might have a 500-page book, but there might only be 25 pages that you need to read to understand all of it.
Right. Yeah.
And so yeah, he teaches all about that, and he's phenomenal. He's a polyglot. He speaks like 9 languages or something stupid. And he learned Spanish in. I might be wrong here, but it's like he learned one language in 3 months, and the next language he learned in a month, and the next language he learned in 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, it's just bizarre. Yeah, look him up. Tim Ferriss is amazing because he interviews people from around the world who are successful at what they do, and he picks apart. And the first podcast that I ever listened to, and I would recommend it, is he interviewed Jamie Foxx. And it's a 2.5 hour long interview. Oh, it's just phenomenal. And I was like, I am hooked. This because he breaks down the tiniest, somebody will mention something and he'll break it down, and he's so good at interviewing people, and he's just fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll definitely look him. I'm always looking for new podcasting because I don't watch telly. I don't watch telly. Unless somebody says, "Oh, this is a good show to watch," then I'll probably, I my son got Netflix, so I watch his Netflix if I need to. My daughter's got Amazon Plus. Yeah, it's like I pay his gas and electric. At least he can do is let me watch his Netflix.
Fair enough. How old is he?
27.
That little boy. Oh my God, Jesus.
Yeah, 27, and he's got a little boy himself, at the age of 9. I got a grandson as well now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, time flies, mate. It really does.
It does, and time does fly.
It's time to go, really. I think
it is. Yeah. We've nearly hit the 2-hour mark. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. We definitely got to do this again. And give
him
a
watches it or not, or gets anything out of it. I mean, I've tried to watch my podcast or listen to them back, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I talk a lot of shit.
I think that every time I listen to my back as well, like doesn't stop me though.
Yeah, so I think that's the message that listeners and watchers should get is, look, life's too short to not try something, and you might find that you like whatever it is that you try, and if you don't, you might live your life wondering what it would be like. So try it, because you're doing yourself a disservice. You don't have to be great. I tell kids all the time that when you're trying something for the first time, it seems really difficult. And that's your brain learning. When something seems really difficult, really hard, it's because your brain's trying to figure it out. And, you know, you've got to learn muscle memory and all that. They say it's 10,000 hours to become an expert of something, but you don't need 10,000 hours. You just need 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. Just put the work in and you'll get results. And all you got to do is try. You just got to commit to doing something new. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you fail. The more failures that you get, the more chance you're going to win the next time. The most successful people in the world have failed tons of times, and it shouldn't stop you from giving it a go. And if you fall on your ass, get up and try again. And, you know, you could be the person you want to be. You don't have to be in a 9-to-5 that you hate. You don't have to do things you don't want to do. If you're free, if you don't have kids, if you've got nothing to worry about, if you can go and travel, do what you want to do. And then as soon as you got kids, be a good parent. And that's it. And if you're going to do stuff, do it before you become a parent. And, you know, don't spend your life wishing you'd done stuff. I've got no regrets whatsoever. There's a couple of things I'd like to do, but I probably won't do them because I don't want to take the risk. I am pretty risk averse. One of them is paragliding. I love the idea of paragliding. I'd love to do it, but I'm actually frightened of dying, you know, or you know, falling out of the sky and becoming a cripple. So.
Yeah, you know, good reason. Yeah,
I fancy doing that. I'm not going to. So, you know, just believe in yourself. Follow your passion. Follow your dreams. And one day you could be as successful as me.
Well, on that note, we'll say thank you, Chris, for being on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We definitely got to do this again when lockdown is down and you've started to get some back to some normality. We'll catch up. Thanks to Learn Stage Hypnosis. Honestly, what to say? ChrisDocStrange.com. Go there. Also,
get the book.
Spooknosis. Feel the fear. I'm gonna have a go at this, Chris. I'm gonna grab everyone and we're gonna have a night of this because it sounds amazing.
Just do it, and there's no charge. You pay afterwards if you've enjoyed it. You know, it's like busking. You know, you just tip us at the end. The main thing is we have a laugh, and
that's
if you get something out of it, you just go, do you know what? Whatever.
Well, thanks very much again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to the Enhancement Project for sponsoring us again, and we'll finish with their advert. So, good night, everyone, and yeah. Sweet dreams.
Bye-bye now.